a member who have been through our training for the live training, and he did his introduction with us. And then after a few months, he have worked in the environment, and basically I asked him, can you please come back and share your information, like the job experience and how you feel and everything together, because it's one thing to land a job in the beginning. It's another thing to actually do work in an environment for 2-3 months and then compare your training and the whole experience that you get. So that's something nobody can give you other than that same, or every single person will have different experience. So every member that comes back to us will have a different experience. So today, first of all, I want to say thank you to Gustavo for taking his time out. And I want to also thank you, Gustavo, for, because I messed up. We did like a 5 minutes of recording, and I wasn't recording it. And now Gustavo had to record again. So on the video, this is going to be in the video. So I want to apologize to Mr. Gustavo for doing that. So Gustavo, first of all, thank you so much. Just please give us a little bit of introduction from your background. And I know you already have a huge video for us. We're going to put that in the description. We're not going to go through the whole starting again. Just give us the introduction of where you were before, just if somebody's watching this for the first time, and how you have started the training with us. And just fast forward, we're going to talk about a little bit about that process, but let's go ahead and get started with you.
All right, no issues at all. I will summarize again my introduction also, because the first video is quite long, right? And people will get bored. So I'm from Brazil, and I used to work in an IT company in Brazil, but was my own company. So I never had the knowledge, like the IT, the technical knowledge in regards to IT. But was the time in my life that I was enjoying a lot, work, and I was not working, I was having fun, and was a very good time. And then, as usual, life changes, and then I decide to have an experience in Europe. And then I moved to Europe. I was working in a retail shop in a small city here in England. And then I was there for basically 2 years working that company. But I was working as a part-time, and I was studying for IT, because it was basically what I was aiming to do and to work with. After this period of my life, just to summarize, between these 2 years, 6 months I was just studying for English, and then let's say 1.5 years, I was studying myself, like on my own pace. Yeah, on my own pace, following my own pace, and using whatever I could be using, like about certification, for example. I got 2, but these 2 certifications obviously doesn't mean anything at all. Just something nice to say and obviously to present, and was my idea, because I was feeling that I was studying for my plus certification. All right.
And you found out through through internet, right? Like these are the fundamentals, and a lot of people were suggesting that to start with that. So you kind of went with that, right? It's normal process.
That's normal, I believe. I mean, it's
it is
part
normal,
of the process. I don't know. You can feel it's something more psychological, maybe. Like you need to have something to show or to present.
And it is a process. A lot of people do expect that type of certification when they don't know too much about IT. The HR people kind of start looking for, hey, what are the most common certification in IT? And that's how you found out, basically, and you kind of went with that. So it's okay, no problem. Yeah.
So between this 1.5 years, I was obviously following my own pace, as I said. And then I got my certification, my CompTIA Plus, right? But then after the CompTIA Plus, that's the moment where you can ask yourself, okay, am I ready? No, you are not ready. And then like it's ridiculous. It's quite silly. And then I was all right. So what do I know? I know the CompTIA Plus. I got it. What does it mean? Literally anything. It doesn't mean nothing. Well, I was correct. But anyway. And then I was trying to get a job, but I was not sure how to apply for new jobs. I was not feeling confident. I was not feeling ready for anything. And then one day I decided to send a message to this guy here. I was
so
following him.
While you're talking about the message, I'm going to actually show the message, because you are since you were talking about it, let's go ahead and show it to people, because a lot of people will be asking about the timing of this, this whole conversation, this whole process, because today the video is about the whole process, right? So this is the first message that Gustavo sent us. I'm not going to show the whole message, but that's 9/13/2019, which is a few months ago. So that was the first message that he's talking about, right, Gustavo?
Yes, correct. Actually, when you sent me this message, I was quite surprised because I think I contact you through email. I'm not sure.
Could be, yeah, maybe, yeah, maybe.
Through email, and then I got a message to my WhatsApp.
Oh,
which was quite nice. Like, oh, like he's coming to me. He cares. he's trying to get something from me, so he wanna help me.
Or you're like, he's trying to get money from me.
No, I was not afraid about that because, well, I approached you, and that's the market. We need to make money. People are not like doing charity, right? Like around.
Yeah.
General. Anyway, and then Danish started helping me, and then I decided to join in a specific what? How can I say that? Specific.
The live training. You basically went for the instructor-led live training. So while people are also, if people are new, we can also show the screen. Maybe this way they can get more clearance. So basically, what Gustavo is talking about, instructor-led IT training, and we already talked about the phases. So maybe he can. This is his experience, by the way. So we're not trying to make it look like marketing or something. This is because a lot of people will ask you what kind of process you have started. So when he basically became a member, before that we sent him some videos on WhatsApp, and you see provided on WhatsApp right here. And then we talked about phase one. In phase one, basically that live training that he's talking about right now. So that's the main thing that we are basically kind of like discussing, right?
Yeah. Can I mention something else?
Yeah, sure.
So when I decided to join your the platform, I took the premium member, I think.
Oh,
something like that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Why I choose the premium member? It's basically because when I choose to work in IT, I choose with my heart. Like it's something for my future. It's something that I need to be very dedicated, and I need to do something. I need to create something for myself. So I was not playing around. So when I saw the options, I said, no, I would choose the best one. What's the best option that this guy has? It's this one here. So I will take this one, and I will make it happen, literally. And then I saw the other option, the live training, and then I decided to get the live training as well. So I literally, I'm not rich, obviously, but I know that money has like a big impact in our lives. But when it's in regards to your future and your choices, you cannot hold yourself, like.
Yeah. And we're not shy about our prices either. We're saying that in the beginning, people, when somebody's brand new and they see this price, when somebody's brand new, they don't have any clue about how IT works, how the servers works and everything. For them, they may see this is such a huge amount. But when we tell people that when you spend some time in IT, when you land a job and you realize how expensive these things are and how many people are charging for live training outside for just specific, like let's say CompTIA A+, like $4,000 or something like that, then people after that start appreciating this money that we have put out there, and people start coming back to us like, you guys are giving something a little bit, not the market value. These are not market values right here. I can guarantee you on that.
Yeah. And well, I think you mentioned that, but just in advance, I was studying for 1.5 years while I was working on retail, right? And then I met Danish, and after 3 months, something like that, I got the job. So
there you go.
If I knew him before, I could maybe.
You could have landed a job ahead of the time.
Yeah, maybe now I could be in a better position. I don't know.
We're going to come to this whole thing right now, but we want to also tell people that in that 3 months, since he mentioned that the 3 months that we're talking about didn't come with, without an effort. But if you look at it right here, I'm just going to show you some messages from his progress, like for example, this one, we basically did a lot of after the training. This is like after doing whole training, and look at the date, is 12/18 on the top right now. So that's about almost 2 to 3 months of back and forth on the WhatsApp. So look at that dedication from his end. He didn't give up, because if he would have give up, there's no way that we will be investing that energy on somebody. We have also agreements. We trained you, we gave you the resume, you apply for the job. That's your job, you have to do it. But at the same time, he was so dedicated to come back to us, ask us questions. We create a mock voices for him, and you can see this is his responses right here. I'll say, what is the command for GP update, GP force? And he said, okay, I'm not going to say anything. He said GP update / force. What is this, what is that? So to be honest, it's a two-way process. It's not a one-way. He can probably talk more about it, but that's how it is. The training is the 3 months that he went straight to the job, but the 3 months was all this effort in between, right, Gustavo?
Yeah, that's totally true. And obviously, when you are learning something from scratch, it's not easy, right? You have lots of questions, and when you have a coach, you can rely on your coach, and obviously maybe you will be very annoying sometimes, but this shows that you want to get something, you want to achieve something. And I wasn't ready, for example, for anything. I wasn't ready to apply for a job. I wasn't ready to answer for interview questions. I wasn't sure how to present myself, all the process was a bit confusing, because was new for me. It's still new for me. I'm only 2 months working in this new company. I'm learning lots of things. But even though I was literally trying to spend my time properly, like I was not afraid, literally not afraid, because mentioning again, at the end, even with all the support or the assistance from your coach, from different platforms, from books, from whatever, at the end will be you and your phone ringing, and you need to
your phone ringing, reactiveness, right?
And you need to react, and you need to answer the phone call, and you need to be ready, to be comfort. And it's quite complicated. It's not something easy for us that are trying to get a job.
And I just talked about that, Gustavo, that it's not just picking a phone, it's that automatically turning yourself into a technical person. Then, picking a phone is one thing, but now you have to become a person to react to somebody's call. Is a total different ball game when it comes to learning technology. So how did like, coming to that right now, a lot of people will be asking, did this training help you in any way to handle something like that? What is your take on that?
Man, of course. Like, you were very helpful. You sent me like audio messages, showing me some examples on how to answer specific questions, how to represent my CV, for example, right? Because the CV is like very good, right? So it's very good CV, very well made, but then you need to be a symbol for that CV. So do you represent the CV? Are you ready to be that CV? Yes, no.
That CV. What a good way to present. Great.
Yeah. So if you're not ready to show yourself through the CV, you'll be a problem. and even knowing that you don't hold all the information, if you know a little bit, if you can like spend some time speaking about that, you will show that you are a very dedicated person. And even knowing a little bit again, they will realize that. They will see, oh, this person, maybe it's not as experienced as he's saying, for example. But he looks like a good choice, a good option. Why not? And literally, it's not only about also effort and people helping you, like Danish. It's also about being lucky. Sometimes it's all together.
It's all together. There you go. You got it.
All together. So you can.
So this is why we tell people that you have to apply to hundreds of places to get lucky too, right?
Yeah, correct.
The amount of getting lucky between applying to 5 positions versus 50 positions, there's a big difference.
Correct. And there's no miracle. Unfortunately, there's no miracle. If you spend 10,000 pounds, doesn't mean that you will get a job.
Yeah,
If
but
you're not
again,
putting your heart in there, like
yeah,
literally trying to create a new reality for yourself, you will not make it. So,
but the other point that I want to make over here, even if you get lucky, it's like a ball that's spinning right now. Watch what happens. Even if you get lucky with the CV, which is a good CV, then like you said, you need to pick up that call.
yeah.
And that's where you can even get more lucky by mentally accepting that stress. But how many people can do that? Now, if there was an option which you decided to choose us, we helped you in that moment where your phone is picking up, you know there's a mentor out there, you know I was trained for this, you know it's the same things that happening, but more now I'm seeing it in an infrastructure that my mentor don't have access to. So I've seen a lot now, but my structure was ready. I didn't got shook or anything, you know. So a lot of people in your spot would be coming back to me and saying that I want training, or I'm too stressed, or somebody actually recently called me that she was let go of her job after 2 months because in the 2 months she couldn't do anything at all.
Mm-hmm.
And because she said that she had a lot of theoretical stuff on the resume, that seems like she's like a network engineer, like, you know, switching and routing and everything, and the company told her to go and fix that router. Couldn't do it.
Oh, I see.
So you see, at least first of all, we're not telling people that we're going to make you a network engineers or anything. We tell people that you're new. You need to first get in. And that's where our goal is at. And we're also telling people that we're not making you a Best Buy technicians who just go there and fix a computer. You're becoming a proper IT professional. What is your take on that when you started at work? Now let's move it forward a little bit. You basically got the call. We also shared your interview questions with people. Say, hey, these are the interview questions Gustavo got. Take us now, because this is the most important piece right here, which I'm going to make a little pointer in the video, that after landing a job. So now you landed a job. Take us from day one. I was not there for you. Remember, I told everybody that Danish is not going to be there for you anymore. Danish can only take you to the gate, but the gate is locked and there's a lot of privacy things and everything. Danish cannot get inside that gate. So now I pushed you in there and I ran away. Like that.
You didn't run away. You were just not able to be there, right? It's
Yes.
different, because even after work, I was like sharing some impressions that I had, and you were still having a conversation with me. You were still assisting me, like, this is how it is, like, this is the process, this is normal, blah blah. Because at the beginning, for even new clients, new students that you have, they need to know that will be complicated, will not be easy. The first month or second month will not be easy at all. Like, it's too much. The information will be new, fresh. You need to perform. They will tell you things to do, and if you're not organized with the things that they are saying, you will not get. So you will not be able to perform as well. So it's like, it's not only performing the task, it's getting the task right.
Yes.
And also knowing how to handle customers on the phone. This is something that you will develop naturally. I will not say that I'm very good on it, but like I like to be myself. So I like to be natural. I like to treat the other person at the other line, at the other side, naturally as well, like as a human being, right? So it's a little bit easier for me because of that. Like, I'm having this conversation with you right now. For me, it's natural, not pushing myself, not pretending to.
And we didn't make a script. We didn't make a script or anything. We're just
we are just talking. Because I'm free today, I said, well, we can have a conversation, and why I'm open and always having this conversation, because I'm so happy now at my moment in the company, that I would like to invest in something else. So we can also mention now, I will start again from the beginnings, okay, from the first week and so on. But just mentioning, we are working a lot with Azure right now. Last week, we started working a lot with Azure, and I said,
Ooh,
okay, what
okay.
the fuck? What is Azure? Like, obviously, I saw Azure lots of places, but then I've been asked to migrate like 20 customers. Like, hey, Gustavo,
Wow.
you migrate 20 customers to Azure. Domain all of
So
them, migrate all the data, and that's it. Done.
before we get into this detail of this migration and everything, I want to take you in a way, because a lot of people may get an idea that, oh, because he is in a technical position, am I going to do the same thing? So let me take you back to day one. Let's just talk about, we're not going to say the company name or anything for privacy reason, but do know that Gustavo is working in a service provider type of company, right? Gustavo, am I right?
Yeah,
It's more of a technical company, right?
correct.
So just take us back to a little bit day one of what is your job role? Like what's the title? In the beginning of the first days, how did you feel? What did you gather? What were you thinking? So this way we can develop into this more technical side of you.
Right. So my title is first line support engineer, IT support engineer. At the beginning, I was a little bit uncomfortable with this title. Like, what? I'm not an engineer. But anyway, they call you that way.
They call you anything in IT.
Yeah. And obviously, I was just assisting first line issues as resetting passwords. Oh, I don't know my password. I want to install.
Did you immediately start doing that, or did you spend some time? Did they train you or anything, or like what happened in the beginning?
Yeah, I had 2 days training, but was not something nice. Like, oh, now I'm ready. No, it was
Okay.
not something good. At least.
But now, when you saw the resetting password, did you got happy that you took the Active Directory course, and did
Yeah,
it? Did
for
anything?
sure. But the thing is, was not directly like related to Active Directory.
I see.
Active Directory is something more advanced.
Okay.
Was more like I forgot my password on 365. Can you reset it for me? Yeah, for
Okay,
sure.
okay. And you took the training on that too, by the
Yeah.
way. Yep. Okay.
Was basically I would say that my job would be maybe 70%, 75% on 365.
Perfect. Wow, that's amazing.
That's a lot.
That's I mean, because the thing is that we are training people on something that gives an idea of overall, because you may be working for a technical company, but other people may not be working at that much. So even that information helps, because if you have a knowledge about Active Directory, if you know knowledge about Office 365, even at basic level, when you see something new at the job and they're talking about resetting password, you have already developed that in your mind that I am going to be whatever I see. Remember the way we were teaching you that whatever product you see, you have a backbone just to kind of think about it, that they may be using something different, but you're not scared of it, right?
No. Well, at the end will be something that you get used to it. Even a completely new platform, but obviously once you had some training on it, it's better, right?
Yeah.
you cannot deny that. So was basically that, like some clients calling just to install a specific program, and you need to check if they can install that program. You need to add the password, to remote connect to the computer and to add that password for them after supervision of your manager or whatever. What else? Troubleshooting random applications, troubleshooting Outlook. This is something that happens a lot as well.
Outlook probably a lot, right? Because they're using so many
Outlook,
emails.
Outlook, it's a lot of things to do, like creating new profiles on Outlook.
Oh wow.
What else? Importing obviously the data on that Outlook profile, create a new profile, and then actually it's exporting, right? Exporting the data, creating a new profile, and importing again the data
to a new
to a new profile. So this is the kind of stuff that you need to do. Sometimes you need to install a specific application which is related to Outlook because they are integrated, and so on. So all of this stuff, it's quite scary.
And that's happening in the first few days, or like we're talking about a week or two?
The first
Okay.
2 days I was like,
All right.
was too much. The company that I'm working today is like high pace. So the phone is ringing all the time.
So
And
this is a good point because I want to actually mention something here. I already talked to on this that it depends on where you land a job. So when I remember I talked in the beginning, the fundamental course too, that there are different setups of IT. He is in a fast pace because it's a technical company, but at the same time, he may be a little bit more stressed than some people who may land a job in a
oh yeah,
nonprofit or local business, but he will be learning 10 times more faster than a person who will be taking sweet time for, let's say, 3 months to just learn one thing. Gustavo is learning 20 things. So
yeah,
that's the difference. You lose and you gain in the both areas. Here's less stress, here's more stress, but his way of moving things is very fast. Learning technical stuff is very fast. I wanted to
oh
make
yeah.
that point because a lot of people may not know.
No, this is a very good point, and obviously, I would like to advise personally advise people like new clients and students, because if you are literally committed to enhancing your career, that's the kind of company that you want to be working on, because you will learn. You don't have
Yeah.
options. You don't have choice. Literally, you are there already. You want the job? Yeah, I want the job. So you will learn all
Yeah.
of this stuff, and you don't have choice. Only if you want to quit, if you want to give up.
Yeah, you want to quit or you want to learn. Great point. Yeah.
Exactly. So there is no option. So because of that, I'm quite happy now. So it's my second month. I will complete my second month in 1 week,
Awesome.
and now I'm feeling better, because at the beginning I was handling so much stress.
2 months.
Yeah.
And it's not that much though. 2 months is not that much.
All right.
I
Good
mean,
then.
honestly, for
I'm
someone to
performing
say
well.
in 2 months that I'm happy and this is not killing me or something like, because I have people that come to us like 2 months and man, I'm almost about to just give up and everything. Not the people who have trained with us, by the way. This could be a premium members, plus members. There's a huge difference between someone who's just a premium member who has done a whole live training. It's a huge day and night difference between two, because a premium member only gets labs and they're
Yep.
on their own. They're watching the free content, and we have tons of free content, but that doesn't mean it's targeted on you. Or you call me and I'm like exactly telling you, because I remember you did call me a month ago or something, and then you were a little stressed, right? You were like, you wanted to ask me some questions, and the one
Yeah.
thing I wanted to tell you what is to wait. Everything goes with the time. So that's what you
Yeah.
did, I guess, and now I'm hearing something different from you.
Yeah. I can share again. I was frustrated. Obviously, I was not thinking like, this is not for me. Was about the pace of the company that I'm working on. It's not about like the job. It's about the pace of the company. So if that company that you are working right now, it's like high pace, you will suffer to get used to it. That's normal.
Mm,
Your brain will adjust to that scenario, like,
got it. So
and
mentally, you got to be strong for that.
yeah,
Oh,
you
yeah.
need to be strong for that. And obviously you need to be a hard worker
There you go.
as well, because like I was willing so much to learn and to get used to it, because I knew that like, okay, I'm suffering right now. I'm very pissed with my manager because he's a blah blah blah, something bad, and he's not helping me to feel comfortable, because he cannot do that. He knows as well that if you push someone, that
Yeah.
person will try to get better. And
Yeah.
I got that point, and I was like, okay, you know what? I will work even harder. And then I was working like, I don't know, like 1 hour overtime, 1 hour and a half. I was going to work when I was off. Um, and why? Why? Because I'm amazing? No, it's because I want to get better.
And it's also one thing I want to tell people that as a member of jobskillshare.org, I feel like we are not a customer, or you're not a customer. We don't treat you as a customer. And this, in other words, you probably have done training with us and you are involved with me so much. We don't treat you like a customer, basically. We don't say, oh, you're the customer. We say, Gustavo, you're having this hard time, so why don't you relax and go back? We basically tell you what's real. But we also tell you that, Gustavo, you got to be stronger than that, right? Didn't I tell you
Yeah.
that many times that, hey, man, this is a part of life. There's no BS in here. I'm not going to make things sweeter for you. This is the reality right there. You got to go with it. Make sure this is a normal stuff that's going on. Just be easy with this stuff. But of course, you were learning the smart way. But imagine if you didn't have that mentality, then I feel like it would have been a 50-50% right now. You either would have gone too hard or you would have gone the other way.
Yeah, I would say yes, probably. But now, like, I'm quite happy. I'm quite surprised. And then I saw one video yesterday that you posted. I think it was yesterday. It was maybe a few hours ago. I'm not sure. I saw a few hours ago about Azure.
Yeah, let's talk about that right now. Let's talk about how a new person just spending 2 months, and I'm hearing a lot about Azure and Office 365 from your mouth, which is alarming and exciting at the same time. So let's talk about that. Tell people that what is cloud doing over here?
Well, they are basically getting everything to the cloud, everything, even things that was already like cloud related. Now it's going 100% related to the cloud, like
wow, okay,
migrating like totally. And obviously I was not comfortable because my manager told me like Azure, it's something a little bit more complex. You need to know a little bit better about that. If you want to study, if you want to improve on Azure, that's what I recommend you to do. My manager telling me.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right. And then obviously I send a message to you because I want to get better on Azure. This was like 1 month ago. I think was like maybe 40 days ago, something like that. And I text you, I said, hey man, do you have anything to offer me in regards to Azure? Because I want to study Azure. My manager said that Azure is the future.
There you go.
And then after like 1 week and a half, something like that, he was lending me tasks like, hey Gustavo, handle this task. What about this ticket here? Hey man, this is Azure. I don't know about Azure. Now just follow this and this step here and let me know. It's okay. And I was like doing that, and I was asking literally, I was step by step, hitting one option. Right, I have these options here. What should I do? What should I do? Literally like that. And then it was like leading me and said, okay, now you just migrate a user to Azure. Now this client is domained on Azure. Now you need to do what, Gustavo? And I was like a idiot. You feel like that as a new guy. You're like all the time. And I was okay reading the ticket because that's what he likes to do. He likes to force you to pay attention. So you need to pay attention and look everything. And I was like, okay, I need to migrate the data. That's correct. So do it. And I was like, how can I do that? I don't know how to do that. All the time. He was putting me on the spot all the time. But in a way, he's right. That's the best way to learn.
He's teaching you. He's teaching you on the spot, because the other thing that we are getting from this is that new people who are watching you is that sometimes when they hire you, they're not going to let go of something they're going to give you new. They already knew. They already gave you a new stuff that was not a part of your job in the beginning. Now you are in a good position. You're at actually the best position. Why? Because they know that you don't know. So they're going to teach you everything from scratch. Because if you go with a resume and say, I know about Azure, this and this and this, I have a 1 year experience in Azure, then they don't expect that from you. A manager is not going to sit with you and do that kind of teaching, right? So, but the biggest part is that look how even a level 1 technician is actually doing that. And that kind of counters back on one of my video that I said that in some environments, they won't even let you touch these things. But here, that if you take my video, that kind of little bit wrong, that the wording is wrong. Here, a level 1 technician is saying, we are working on Azure. But again, what I basically implemented in my videos, a lot of people, I don't want to scare people at this time, because there are many, many different environments and platforms that will not be doing what Gustavo is doing. Again, he's doing what? He's working for what? He's working for a technical company. So a technical company make their tasks more easier, give it to more level 1 engineers, because the higher end engineers are working on more advanced stuff in Azure. They're probably maintaining the SQL servers, the CMS systems in there, the integrations of single sign-ons, which Gustavo is probably not doing that right now. He's just
No.
simply moving users, adding the passwords, stuff like that. So that's normal task, and that's something we're gonna actually make a videos on in future.
I'm not even aware about the project from behind.
Yeah,
They just assign the tickets on your name, and you need to do. You need to get that ticket done, and that's it. Obviously, that's one of my plans as well. But not my plan, but the plan of my manager. He will explain to me what is from behind, like from where that came from. But he doesn't want to explain right now because it's not necessary. It's too much information, and blah blah.
too much, exactly.
And so yeah, like at the same time.
And that's what we tell everybody, that as a help desk, as a level 1 engineer, you are working on that application at the level where things are repetitive. Then it's done for you.
Correct.
You got to do that repetitive task, or just adding a users, or adding a password, editing, whatever. It's something somebody have created the whole thing. And just like that, Active Directory, a system administrator creates the whole environment infrastructure, and then the help desk is working on Active Directory. Similarly, in Azure, somebody is managing the whole infrastructure while the help desk is managing the rest, right?
Yes, that's correct. Oh, again, coming back for 365, things that obviously you will be doing often will be like creating new users,
There you go.
generating new passwords again, changing names, updating the names, and let's say converting active user, like a normal user, to a shared mailbox because they want the company wants to convert to a shared mailbox that old users.
Yeah, because it's a license. They don't want to be losing emails. At the same time, they don't want to be paying for a license.
Yeah. And you need to add members inside of that shared mailbox, and then those members will be able to see what is coming on that mailbox.
And how, right? I'm sure you got a call like, how do I access the shared mailbox, right?
Yes. And then you need to add them. You need to add those people to that group, and then they will be able to see that. It will take like maybe 60 minutes, 1 hour, right? To come up on that.
By the way, while Gustavo was talking about this whole Office 365, so this is just an information for our members. We're actually creating a new course. And Gustavo, I think you probably don't know about this either. You may just want to visit it if you have time. We're actually creating this Office 365 new course for our paid members. So right now we're daily working on this one. So right now, if you look at the content that Gustavo, what he's talking about is something we are exactly talking the same thing right now. Gustavo, you may even relate to this when you see this curriculum. So you're seeing my screen, right?
Yeah.
So here we are creating a new, what is Office 365? What do you need to learn about as a help desk? And then we talk about this whole page portal, like what is the portal, and then dashboard, and then users right here. Active user features, creating a users, active user, real world tickets, contact, guest user, deleted user, and then here's the share mailbox. So a lot of good stuff that's happening. What he's talking about is exactly.
Well, that module, it's basically what you will be doing definitely at least 0.5% of your time. 50% of your time you will be doing that kind of task for sure. Sometimes you need to do like even like hey Gustavo, I'm calling from this company. I have a shared mailbox. I need to activate again for a user because that user came back, so he will be working again with us. And I was like, how can I convert a share mailbox to active user? So was a completely different task because it's not like in the normal panel, right?
It goes to active users again. You
need to go to the exchange option, and then from there you need to find the user and convert to user. Wow. So this is another procedure as well that you need to be aware of. And if you don't know how to do that, you will be not in troubles.
And the portal
struggle,
and the Office 365 is all over the same, right? It's a cloud-based application. Everywhere is like, if I open an application right now in front of you, you probably can tell me that it's still the same, right? You're looking at the screen, right? This is how it looks to you as well, right? When we're teaching this stuff.
Like that. You don't
Yeah,
care
okay.
about the other options. You hit admin straight away. Pa, admin.
Straight away, and then you go to the exchange right there, and that's where
Yes,
you're basically explaining all these things that we're talking about right now.
correct.
So another thing is about
Oh,
the yeah, go ahead.
I have something else to add, also related to 365. All our customers, they have the two-factor authentication.
Ah, that's a good one. Okay.
So we need to always enable new users with the multi-factor authentication. And obviously you need to guide them. You need to teach the users how to install the application in their phones.
On the phone.
How to link the application to your account on their phones, and then you get a code there, and then you need to obviously add that second layer of security to be able to access your Outlook. So all our clients, all the users, they have this MFA sets up.
Now, what we tell people, like, something is so, there are so many tasks in IT. I don't know, hundreds of thousands of tasks in IT. There's no way a course can complete those kind of tasks. So we tell people that some of the unique tasks, company already have documentation prepared for you. I'm sure they had the documentation for you as well, right?
They have documents, but not a lot, because
and that's one of your job too, right?
Exactly.
You gotta prepare that, right?
And I was all the time bugging my manager. What can I do here? How can I do this? Where is the procedure? Where's the document? And like, for lots of things, there is no document. For them, because they are more experienced, they know already. For them, it's natural.
Natural. There you go.
But for you, it's not, right? You are new. So them now, because they wanna improve, they want to make their company bigger. They will hire more people and stuff. They are asking me to document procedures. Yeah, to make this step by step. Like, for example, the Azure step by step. I made it.
Nice.
See? I made it.
While you talk about Azure stuff right there, I wanna pull up, because I like to show the kind of like a picture in people's mind of what is he talking about. He's talking about this right here. It's exactly the same thing that we're just gonna open right now. So I'm sure, Gustavo, you can correct us. This is what you're seeing, right, in your company?
Yeah.
And basically you'll go to Active Directory, and then here what you were talking about, that we come here to users, and I started adding a users right here and stuff like that, right?
Correct.
Okay, good. And there's so many new things, like what he's talking, multi-factor authentication is right here. So I'm sure some of the things probably you went through Google, right? That's how you, most of the time, fine, right?
Definitely. I mean, you need to show your colleagues that you are trying to achieve something as well. You cannot all the time just ask them. They will be pissed. You need to try to find the answer by yourself. If you are not able to find the answer, or if you get something and if you're still not sure, you can let them know. Like, hey, I'm working on this ticket. I don't know exactly how to perform this ticket, but I did some research. That's what I got. Is that correct? Should I follow this procedure? Yes, no. And then, and so on. And then you'll be able to give a step forward or give a step back and just watch them, right? So don't be crazy. At the beginning, I was being crazy, and I was again being put on the spot, like, and they were asking me, why have you done that? And I said, well, it's because I think was the correct option, what's the correct thing to do. I want to be proactive. I'm trying to show you that I'm proactive. Sometimes you are not giving me attention. I'm getting frustrated because I'm not able to perform. This happened. This is the reality, at least for the company that I'm working on. And then they will ask you, like, why have you done that? Why have you done it in that way? Why you didn't ask? You need to know. You need to respect the procedures that the company has and the procedures that the client has. So you cannot just do in the way that you think
whatever
needs to be done. There's lots of policies as well, group policies.
And if you remember the policies, every time when you were training with us, we talked about, if you have to deploy an application, there's two ways you can do it. You can go and make connection with the client and do a conversation with them. A lot of companies prefer that way, but also there are other procedures where you can do deployments, but we give you warnings, right? You don't just deploy an application without a client not knowing, and boom, the application just showed up on there. And that's
Yeah,
what
no,
he's
no.
talking about, that you got to follow what the company has already and respect their policies. But at the same time, you have this thinking, you have this advanced way of learning that you can make it better, because if the company is doing some tedious task in the
Hmm.
future, you can tell a company that there's a better way. And that's where you're now marking another a thing in your IT career, where you're showing to them that now I'm ready to move up a little bit, guys. Look, I'm move up. And you're not saying it to them, but your action speaks for yourself. Then
Yeah. Oh, something else that we need to mention as well, as part of my own experience. We are just talking about like tasks that we are performing, right? But there is also the admin part of your job, your role. You need to
Mhm.
be feeding the ticketing system properly. You need to know how to put the information there. You need
Mhm.
to respect the way that they like,
Mhm.
to put the resolution, to put the history notes, to add
Exactly.
like charges for the
Mhm.
time that you were working on that ticket, the time that you spend on a specific task, and so on.
Again, that's you being working in a technical company where you say charges and everything. That might not
Yeah.
be the same story for someone who's working in a normal company. They don't
Yes.
put charges, right? Yep.
So it's basically for the scenario, if you that are watching this video right now, for example, got a new job and it's like a company like mine, you need to be aware that you need to learn about the ticket as well, the ticketing system that they are using.
Sure.
Otherwise, you will struggle, man.
What did I tell you in your ticketing training, that this is something I'm going to share with you that a lot of people don't know? To learn something quickly, go back to their tickets.
Yeah, go back
Go
to their
back
ticket.
about, yeah.
Obviously, if they were adding decent notes, it will be useful. Otherwise, if you say, "Oh, I just found here," like for example, I put my colleague in a bad situation there. So, no, I just found one ticket here related to the same that I have here, but because I don't know exactly the procedure, I'm following this ticket here, but there is no notes.
Okay.
And then my
Well,
colleague was
the
pissed
notes are
at
like
me
this:
because
like you get a call, it took you 3 hours, and then on the resolution you say the issue is fixed.
exactly.
Okay.
The program has been installed.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah, it's a
And then
very
you don't know
important thing. A
exactly
lot of
how
people.
to.
That's why they ask an interview, right? Ticketing system. Do you know how to assign tickets? They don't want to go
Yeah.
into pretty much detail, but when you start doing an interview, sometimes people, hey, can you tell me what is the procedure of you writing a ticket? And people who know this, and they should be giving answer. Oh, the procedures that I should be putting a lot of notes. Resolution should be, if this is something that I have spent a lot of time on, that I have to put that in the notes, because you can say, oh, in future another technician may come to my ticket, which is exactly what you're saying right now, and
Yeah.
it's kind of like makes sense.
Oh yeah. I can share so many things. I'm not sure if you wanna hear all of this stuff, because I
What we'll
also.
do for technical things, very, I mean, this is a lot of good information you already shared with us, but if somebody's interested in technical questions more and more, so they can ask us in the comment section, and we can make another video just for technicality, and we'll write it
Yeah.
down basically. This way it's much targeted. This video, we want to keep it in a way that it's experience. A lot of people are confused, and they just like, what am I going to do after work? So today what you're doing is you're completing the whole picture of our whole training, your own experience. Like we say, that this is a combination of multiple things that's going to make you an IT professional. And I can guarantee you still right now that Gustavo is not a full IT professional yet. I can tell you
No,
that
I'm
right in
not.
front on the camera, because it's still going to take him time to get to that level. But at the same time, having so much knowledge, the hands-on, and having the platform like this, it's Gustavo, and a normal person who is going to land a job has a day and night difference right now. I can also be
Yeah,
very confidently say that. So
for sure.
Gustavo, at the end, I want to know, how do you feel about this career?
Well, I'm feeling great. I can't wait to achieve like different levels of knowledge, because there's so much things to learn that you will get confused.
Mm.
There's so much ways to achieve something bigger that you don't know from where to start. That's why I like to send you message as well, like, hey man, this is the current situation. I would like to do something else on IT, of course. Do
And
you tell me something?
and to
then,
add that, you know what we're doing right now? We are actually creating two new courses. One is going to call the modern network engineer, and one is going to be a modern systems administrator. Who the modern system administrator, which a lot of people are going to come from the helpless side, where they're going to be using a lot of that Azure stuff, creating the whole environment in Azure, knowing about servers currently, because a lot of people think that the whole world is going to go to cloud next year. That's never going to happen. It's going to be taking a long time. What I can tell you right now, Gustavo is going to be working inside the company on-premises stuff and on the cloud at the same time. Because that's exactly what he's saying. But for people at the system admin level, it's not just like somebody's going to say, go and do this. I'm going to teach you this stuff on the job. That's not how it happens in that level. It's a lot of planning, a lot of money is involved. So it's not going to be something that's going to happen on the job. You're sitting there and somebody say, hey, go do that. You know, go spin up a new website for this new client. That's not going to happen. It's going to be a lot of things in there. So that's like, to not scare people to, oh my God, I'm going to drop everything down right now and not learn about Active Directory. If you don't do that, I can guarantee you're still not going to land a job. If you go to the company and say, oh, I know about how to add a person in Azure, but they're going to say, we don't have too much in Azure. How about Active Directory? And you have no answer to that, and they're not going to give you a job.
Yeah. You need to be ready to answer lots of pieces of information.
Gustavo, one other question I want to ask you. How much did you deal with hardware?
How much? Let's say, let's make a scale, 0 to 10.
10 is like
10 is
like
a lot.
you're
Working
80% like work. Yeah.
All the time. I would say 2.
2. Okay, that's not bad.
2,
that's
3.
Pretty low.
Because like even today I was off. I'm off. But I went to the office because I was just available. I said, oh, you know what? I'm going to start working on that laptop that the customer split coffee on it.
Do you fix laptops? Do you fix screens and keyboards and anything like that?
Yeah, but I didn't know that.
Okay.
Didn't know at all. Like how to open a laptop. I wasn't sure.
Okay. But do you like fix the specific screen parts and everything? Like taking the whole screen out?
Yeah, just removing, right? Like taking apart.
Okay.
And then we ordered a new one and we assemble again and this kind of stuff. But not.
And you didn't know that, right?
No.
You learned it. How did you learn it?
In my company, in the company that I'm working right now.
Perfect example. Because the thing I told people that why we don't invest too much energy on hardware, we give you testout.com, if you remember that. We give Testout access to people to just kind of like see the virtual images, pick a thing, but most of the times people don't expect you to become a Best Buy technician who's going to fix every single thing in this desktop, and you having that kind of knowledge, that's not what you're preparing yourself for. I can guarantee most of his other jobs are Azure, Active Directory, Office 365, which he's mentioned already. So the hardware pieces, not a lot of people are looking into that. And even though he's working for a technical company, this means he's getting the calls like spilling a job and stuff like that. So he is the source to fix that. So imagine if that one company that he's working for has their own IT people, they would even send it to Gustavo that they're not fixing this. You see?
Oh, yeah.
So
actually might be a little bit more. I said 2, right? In a scale to 0 to 10. I said number 2 might be like 4 maybe, because 3 or 4. Yeah.
I was expecting 4, almost 4, something like that, because you're still working with
lots of machines. We got lots of machines from clients. So we need to set up new machines. We need to basically do maintenance on these machines, enhance them, change the
memory, stuff. That's normal.
The SSD and this kind of stuff.
Like one hardware specific training is like you need to know every single piece in the hardware to be that technician. You can fix things like inside, like a screen has a line going on or something like that. Now that's something I don't expect any IT professional probably to know how to fix it. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. And so I think that's basically it. What else I can share? I like to do things properly. So if you are very systematic, you might suffer a little bit, because if you don't, like I was suffering a lot. I'm still suffering a little bit, because that's part of my personality, right?
Yeah,
I
that's
like
a
to
very
do,
good point.
yeah, I like to do things little by little and properly from the
And
beginning to
detail.
the end. Yeah. And organized. Right?
It's such a good point, but it can be very difficult in the training. And remember when
Yes.
I was telling you in the training
And
that
that's,
don't try to master things. And I was kind of like
yes.
stopping you in some areas. Remember that, and I have different members too that send me something. I have gotten this views or that. I mean, probably they're watching me right now. And like I said, I'm very straightforward to all of my members that when I see that you're in the training, you're trying to spend too much time to fix something in the training, I tell you to move out. You're
Yeah.
going in the wrong direction right now.
It doesn't matter at all. You are completely right, because he will see that again and again and again and again and again. And then one day it will make sense. Simple like that. Um, and don't ask me how. Your brain just work by itself. So
Yeah.
because you are still alive. So it will work, right?
Search,
Yeah,
go documentation.
exactly. And
Hundreds of documentations are available out there. And
and
that's where I
so
say that when you land a job, take that stress on the job. Don't bring it to a training because you're going to lose.
no, yeah. And well, about being systematic, if you are not multitasking, you can think that you are multitasking, but when you jump in a company high pace, you will see that you are not multitasking if you are systematic, because man, it's lots of things at the same time, and you will learn to stop doing something and get something else, and then you are doing this something else, and then another thing will come, and then another thing will come, and you need to manage all together. And
Uh-huh.
then obviously you will develop a specific skill, which is how to prioritize things. And
Awesome. Nice.
this is something difficult, because will vary from your point of view, from the point of
Mhm.
view of the company that you are assisting right now, and from the point of view of your manager, for example. So the
Uh-huh.
best thing to do is, hey man, I have like, I'm burning right now. I have 10 things to do, and which should I prioritize? Because you just threw at me more 5 tickets, and I have already 10,
Okay.
and I'm working right now on 10 tickets. So what should I prioritize? And then your manager will tell you, okay, Gustavo, do
That's
this.
why managers are there for. A manager should be there
Exactly.
to help you, guide you, make you relax, not to burn you so then you can leave the company. The real managers are the one who is really going to not to do your job, but to really, really help you
Yeah.
understand this whole process, right?
Yes, and that's exactly my point. My point is, relax, try your best, organize yourself, organize your shit, literally, and ask for help. Don't start crying, because will not help you. Just stop and try to get for help. Inform,
Go
like
help.
tell your manager, like
And
tell your
educate
colleagues
yourself.
around you.
Educate yourself. Learn the smart way. Do the smart way. This is what we've been telling people, that learn IT the smart way, and you're going to be what Gustavo is right now at his position right now. Because to be honest, Gustavo is using this method of learning smart, and it's not. There's no tricks behind it. There's no easy way. It's all your perspective, and it's all of course, it's guided. It's guided training. It's guided way of getting into IT, because at some point if he gets too burned out, then he knows he can talk to his manager, but he knows he can come back to us.
Yeah,
It's a way right there, because some people don't have this ability.
yeah. And but even though, if you get a job in a company like the company that I'm working right now, you will develop that naturally. If you
Naturally, yeah.
wanna really work in IT, you need to know that some opportunities will be high pace,
Hmm.
some will not be high pace. And if you are really willing to get a job in IT, you need to be willing also to maybe change a little bit the way that you think about life, the way that you think about working. Because if you like to do things properly, as my own example, you will do things properly, but in a very, let's say, comparing with your way to think will be a little bit it'll be messy, like a mess on your head. But everything at the end will make sense, Because at the
It
end
makes
of
sense.
the day, you will like organize again your things,
It's
your
like driving a
gear,
car.
your
In the
bags.
beginning, you're so confused. You don't want to touch anybody. You're looking here, you're there, you're scared.
Yeah,
But after 2 months, man, people are driving like that. People are driving with coffee,
exactly.
so so
Exactly.
so it's a natural process. People need to understand that. But again, you got to do that effort. Without effort, this is not possible at all. It's just it's such a the nature of this job is like you gotta take that first initial stress, the ability to learn things, understanding, working with people, and doing
Yeah.
most of the stuff on your own is gonna what makes you an IT professional, not relying on people. That's what
Yeah.
makes an real IT professional, right?
Correct.
One last question. What about the quality of life? Do you think it's messy, or do you think you're going to be exceeding in this career to make your life quality will get better with this?
Yeah. Well, I'm still in touch with you, man. So obviously, I will. That's a clear example. Like why I would be in touch with you if I I I wouldn't like to grow, right? And that's pretty much it. Like I have 2 months experience on a proper company, IT company. You have years of experience, and you are available.
Yeah. Another thing is that's what we're telling people. When you become a member of this platform, this is a membership platform. This means it's a community. It's not just a customer or a member who paid and gone and everything. This is why we say we're different. We're different because what Gustavo is about to become is something for future people. Because Gustavo may become pretty good at Azure stuff in the future, and maybe after 4 or 5 years, he say, "Look, Danish, now let me take over because you got old. You cannot talk too much about this stuff. I want to take over." So this is what the community is about, because we want people to come back and give back to the community, because there's a lot of young people at that stage when you are having so much experience are going to look to you how you went through this stuff, and your videos are going to be example to them.
Yeah.
So we would wish you to come back and do this whole mission, because you saw what happened yesterday. Microsoft let go of their certification, which when you came to us, remember, we were all screaming about it, that is not it. CompTIA is not it. CCNA is not it. There's so many other things that's a part of the life, part of this job. And overall, this whole stress, what about the stress stuff? Who's going to talk about that, right? Our
Oh yeah.
platform is not just about education and giving you information or technical labs and everything. We give you all that stuff, but it's more than that. It's bigger than that.
Yeah. At the end, if you don't have something to say or some experience to share, the new job will not gonna happen. And that's something that you helped me a lot, for
Yeah.
sure.
Thank you so much, Gustavo. This is a lot of good information. This is just part one, I believe, because a lot of people will be asking for more questions, and we're not going to do this, of course, like the next week or something. Gustavo is going to still come back after a few months of his own experience, because this is a lot people learn when they spend 6 months. It's phases, basically. If he change a job or something like that. So Gustavo is just like myself right here. Like, I started as a help desk and I was in this platform and everything like this, but now Gustavo is another example of doing this stuff. So we're going to keep doing this for people who are watching this. I just want to say thank you for this much time, because this is so valuable to so many new people right now. I mean, this is gold to them right now, because this is information you can only get when somebody go out in their job and they have this positive thinking that I'm going to go back, share to the community. So my request to other members who have landed a job, and we have actually members who have landed a job 5 years ago and they are now network engineers. So I really want to request them to please come back to the platform. I know you guys are busy. I know you have family and everything, but your information is also extremely valuable for Gustavo now, because he's in this position where you were. So we have people who are making 100K and 90K right now because they landed a job 5 years ago. So we want to bring them back, and this is the video example. I'm going to send it to them, not to like kind of like force them or something. Just look at your own time and schedule. But this helps huge amount of this is just a huge help for us. So I really want to say again, Gustavo, thank you so much for all this time, man.
No
This is
problem.
just too much.
Again, I'm also happy to help. I know how tough is it. And as I said, at the end will be your phone ringing and will be yourself going to the interview, right? After the first step, which is the phone interview. And also will be yourself going your first day in your new job. So if you're not fully ready and fully, like, I would not say tense, because being tense is natural, right? But be comfortable.
Be
Feel
comfortable.
confident that things
Be
will
natural.
happen naturally.
Yeah.
And that's it.
And learn the
Just go
smart
with
way.
the flow.
Go with the flow. Yeah.
And you have people around you that can also help you, like Danish and maybe me. I don't know. Maybe I can help
Definitely.
new guys in a new